Hey everyone, and welcome back to my valley. My name is Lisa, and we've got a sort of different video for you today. It's just me. I've got a different sort of video for you today. This will hopefully be the start of a new series, if you like it. If not, I will make get some other ideas flowing here. Since I'm trying to do these daily, I wanted to have some sort of fun series that you can kind of count on every week. So this is, in addition to my Scrooge's shop haul, this is going to be one of those. It's kind of just going to be me talking to you about my week, about what's been going on. This one I figured I would start sort of as an introduction. I've actually already recorded the first 10 minutes or so of this, and then my my backup battery thing that charges my computer crashed on me, so it doesn't charge my computer, it just sort of, in case the electricity blips out, it will keep it going for a few minutes as I restart my computer, which I did. But then I came back in here and it didn't save my video for some reason. So I'm going to be repeating a few of the things that I said, but since you didn't hear them, I guess it doesn't matter. But it was going pretty well too. It's a little bit annoying, but so anyway, I figured most of the times during these I will be just doing my daily routine and collecting things, and I'm going to start off by grabbing my mining buddy. I had a hard time finding one the first time around. I went to try to get Ariel to come with me, and she just refused. It didn't have the option to ask her to come. So I had to go get Mirabelle from the cafe. Is she there still? Yes. Actually, I think I grabbed Kristoff. I'm gonna go try to get Ariel again, because I don't understand why she's not coming with me. Does this happen to you guys? It's happened once or twice before, where it's just not an option. But she's here, and she's standing. She's not in her fish form. Yeah, now it's here. Now she can come with me. So we'll have Ariel today. That's so strange. One of her options was, let's go see my house. It was like, it wouldn't let her just hang out with me. Yeah. But anyway, I thought this could be fun. The intro video is going to be me kind of talking about my job and stuff, because it's, funnily enough, has a little Disney in it. Very, very Disney adjacent, but I still count it because I did not work directly for Disney. But here we go. I work in the comic book industry. I work from home. That is why I can record these at random times during the day. Like if news breaks or whatever for the game, I can usually jump in and do a quick video on it. That is why. I still work quite a lot, but it's in the comfort of my own home, so that is nice. So I started off coloring comics, and I still do that. I do coloring and inking. For those not in the know, making a comic book takes several people. I will quickly go down the list of people that are involved. First up, you have the publisher, the person that puts it out. So like, since most of you will know, Marvel is owned by Disney. So you've got them as an entity. But every single book that comes out from Marvel, or DC, or whoever, has a team of creatives working on it. And I'm part of those teams. I have not had the pleasure of working for Marvel or DC, but not directly. I've worked as a flatter for some of those books, but I'll explain what that is in a minute. That is actually how I got my start. It's sort of well, I'll go ahead and say what it is. It's a part of the coloring process. It's just the initial step of like separating out all the elements on the page into a color. You don't do any of the shading or the painting in of the characters. It's just the flat colors. And it's usually a job that you're not actually employed by the company. The colorist actually hires you. So that is actually how I got my start. I was a flatter for 2 or 3 years before I started coloring. And I did flat for a lot of Marvel Marvel and DC properties, but it's so funny how they always glitch out on that specific rock for me. It's only that one. So, yeah, the people on the team, that's where I was going with that. You start out with the publisher, and then you have, each book has a writer. That's the first step. And a writer is not the person that puts the words on the page, like, per se. That is a whole nother job. They write a script, kind of like a TV script. And then the artist works from that. So that's the second guy in the line, not in charge. Guy or girl, anyone really. The next one is an artist. And then you've got... I was stuck for a second. Then you've got... After that, you've got the inker sometimes. Inking is the process of laying down thicker black lines over the pencil. Sketches. It's not really, usually not sketches. They're usually more detailed than just a sketch. The artist does the pages, and then the inker comes in and makes them just stand out a bit more with either digital ink, doing that in Photoshop or in another program like that, or they do it traditionally with a actual brush and real ink on the page. That is not done quite as often these days, but it's still done. And then you get to me, the colorist. I take those inked pages and I take those into Photoshop and I color them. After that, you've got the person that puts them on the words on the page, and that is called the letterer. Oh, I actually have to water the mushroom to get it to go away. Yeah, the letterer comes in, so it's really, how many people is that? Is it 5? Writer, inker, colorist, letterer. Sorry, artist. Yeah, 5 of us, usually on the team at least. Sometimes the artist is their own colorist and inker, and they do the whole thing, and then you've just got a letterer. That happens, but not as often. And the writer, of course. But sometimes the artist is their own writer too. But in most cases, it's a team of at least 5 people. And it always, at those companies, have editors as well. But anyway, that's a quick rundown of comics to explain what I do. But yeah, the Disney adjacent part, my first coloring job, and I don't remember what year it was or anything like that, but I've probably been coloring comics for like, I don't even know, like 15 years or so. Maybe a little more. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't remember the year that I started. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but I was lucky enough for my first professional coloring job. Professional meaning for a actual company that has their books put into comic book shops. My first professional job was for a Disney comic. I was extremely lucky to have someone recommend me for a job on a book for Boom Studios at the time. While I was working for them, they changed their name to Kaboom. All of the all ages comics can't come through Kaboom, and that's what I worked on. All ages means that kids can read them and they don't have to worry about mature content, but they're really for anyone to read. So the book that I worked on was Darkwing Duck, so very much Disney. So it was a real thrill for that to be my first real professional job. Even though I honestly did not watch Darkwing Duck when I was young. I don't know why. It was not one of the ones I gravitated towards. I was more of a DuckTales girl. But I was still thrilled to work on it, and I did do some research into it, and I watched some of the show while I was working on it. So that was kind of fun to be able to be introduced to the show long after it had originally aired. I think I bought the first season. Yeah, so that was fun. But after that, I did quite a few issues of that as well. I didn't color the first 2 or 3, but after that I colored the rest of the series. So if you're ever in the wild and you happen to see a Darkwing Duck comic book, feel free to open it up and see if I colored it. The name credited on that would be Lisa Moore. Yeah, so I see them from time to time when I'm out, but I frequent places where there are comics, so if you do not, you are unlikely to see it. Yeah, but after that, I was really excited to work on Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers comic for the same company. But I only got to do like 2 or 3 issues of that one. It didn't last. It must not have been as popular as Darkwing Duck, even though in my heart it is so much more popular. Because that is one of the shows that I did watch. Why am I trying to water? I've like done it 5 times in a row. It's because I can't think and do things. Dailies at the same time. I can't talk. Obviously I can think. Jeez. Anyway, I prefer Chip and Dale. Oh, you're getting a sneak peek. I moved Eric and Ariel again. I liked them on the beach, but I couldn't get it out of my head that I want his castle up here where you can see it from the beach. Because that's such an iconic scene from the movie when they're riding up in the cart and she sees the castle, and so in my brain they're linked, and so I'm trying my best to figure out a layout that I like up here where they can still be close to each other. And so for now I have him positioned here. I'm currently actively working on this, and I have a pathway down to Ariel right there. So they're very close to each other, but he's still, his castle is still up in the hills or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, you get a sneak peek. I will be doing a walkthrough of this area as soon as I get it done. I was thinking of doing something else here, like a farmland or crops. Maybe bring Wally's farm down here. Anyway, it can be like the gardens of Eric's house. I don't know. I'm thinking on it. But yeah, after that I did Chip and Dale, and that was a real thrill. But I did work for them for several years on many different properties, and like if you didn't know, it's not working directly for Disney. It's that Boom Studios licensed those properties from Disney, and they paid for the right to publish stories in those universes. I'm sure they had to get the okay from Disney before they put any new stories out there, but it was a lot of fun. I don't know that they do that as much these days, licensing things out now that they own Marvel, but they might. I'm not up to date, super up to date on the new Disney comics of the day. But they are doing some fun covers right now. I should cook some. For the 100-year anniversary of Disney, my husband got me a couple. They're like old Marvel covers of like Fantastic Fours, one of them I think, and Amazing Spider-Man. It's like they're recreating old comic covers with the Mickey characters, with Mickey and Goofy and Minnie, and it's really cool. There's one of Goofy that I really want to get. We've got to find it. Anyway, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, so I didn't work directly for Disney, but it feels like I did, you know. But other than that, for Boom, I did other properties that I think you all might like if you're a fan of Disney. What am I making? Berries. I'm going to make the pastry cream and fruits. And I wish you could tell it to make like 5 at once. Like 3 to 5, something like that. That would make cooking so much better. Like, you can tell it to make multiple chairs and stuff while you're crafting. Why can't you tell it to make multiple... I understand you can't just tell it, make me 100 pumpkin puffs, because that would not take you long enough to cook them and it would be very overpowered. But, come on, give us 3? Something like that. So I don't have to click this every single time. Anyway, after the Disney stuff, I still worked for them, and I was able to go on to some other things that I personally loved working on. And one of those was my longest running project to date, and that was working on Garfield. I would still be working on Garfield if if they were still publishing it. I love it so much. So those were fun days. And after that, I did a little work on some Adventure Time stuff. And then I was the colors for pretty much almost the entire run of Bravest Warriors that they put out. Have any of you seen that? It was a show here on YouTube. It's a really fun show. Like a little short animated show. And I really loved working on that comic as well. I watched the series with my husband, my now husband. We were not married yet at the time. We watched the whole thing together. It was really fun. And then after that, I did regular show for them, almost the whole run of that as well. And then I started doing more stuff for myself. My husband and I started a small publishing company. In comics, you've got what you call independent comic publishers. We would fall in that category, although we do not get put our comics into comic shops just yet. We are mostly fan funded on Kickstarter, and all of our books we put up on Kickstarter. So for us, for now, that is what we are doing, and we've had several books do pretty well. And we ship those out ourselves and do all of it ourselves. But hopefully in the next year or two, we can start getting those out into comic shops as well. That's on our hopeful to-do list. It's an interesting... Comics are interesting how they work. There's basically one company that you go through, a distributor, to get your comics into comic book shops. And we just haven't gone through that whole process yet, because it can be expensive at the start to get your books in. You gotta order a large amount, and you get paid after they sell. So we are holding out for a bit until we're on more of a consistent schedule, and we really... where's my... I don't think I've put one in this biome yet. Oh yeah, I did. The chest where I drop all my stuff as I'm going. Anyway, I forget what I'm saying. You can't buy our stuff in shops, but you can go to our website and buy them, or you can back our stuff on Kickstarter. But it's still a lot of fun, and it's what we do for the majority of our work, but we both also do other things on the side as well. I have another business where I do some clip art, and then we also work together on graphic design for other comic creators for their Kickstarter pages. And we've been doing a lot more of that lately. So when I say I've got work to do, it's usually drawing or coloring or doing some graphics for people. That is the majority of my job. I spend a lot of time at the computer, spend a lot of time in Photoshop and Illustrator. Any of you graphic designers or anything? Let me know in the comments. It's kind of fun to talk shop sometimes. But yeah, so that is my job. I'm just starting to get more into writing comics. Last year, we put out a comic that I wrote, and it did very well on Kickstarter, and we're putting the next issue out hopefully in the next couple of months, so I'll let y'all know when that's live if you want to check it out. Though it is definitely not for kids and not in the vein of Disney at all, but it is still fun, and it is a fantasy-based story. I love fantasy stuff like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, that kind of thing, so it's along those lines. And most of the stuff that we personally put out through our company is fantasy themed. My husband writes a comic. It's kind of like his version of like Spider-Man almost, only like that kind of character where it's set in high school and it's someone dealing with their powers manifesting for the first time. Only his is a girl named Ember, and she is the last fire goddess. So that's another one that is coming to Kickstarter hopefully in the next few months. Get that next issue out for everyone. But yeah, if y'all like these little videos, I will mention anytime we have one of those projects running in case you want to go look at the art from it or anything like that. We always post preview pages on the Kickstarters and stuff like that. Obviously no pressure to back it or anything like that, just to share. Let's see. When I was first recording, I already went through Frosted Heights, so I wonder if everything has respawned yet. I can't even remember how long I've been recording this time because I did that issue I had. So yeah, what do y'all do for a living? I'd love to know. I know most of you are probably, according to the YouTube stats, we are not children enjoying this game. We are a little bit older, which makes sense. We're all Disney kids, right? It's fun. My niece is 3, and we're on our way to turning her into a Disney kid too. She is now officially obsessed with Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. It is so funny watching her watch the show now. It was just like the last month or two where she really started to be able to tell what is going on in the show. And you can see her little brain working. And every time, what is it called? Toodles? Is that the little guy that pops out and gives them tools to use? She says the hey Toodles or whatever it is every single time. So she is paying attention, and it's really funny. So it'll be a blast to introduce this kid to Disney World so she can meet a Mickey Mouse one day. I think she likes them all, but she mentions Donald a lot. Whenever she sees him, she says his name, which I think makes sense. Donald was always my favorite too. In the original version of this one that I had recorded, I mentioned that when I was talking about working on Rescue Rangers, that I was more happy to work on it because I was more of a Chip and Dale and Donald kid, so like I watched a ton of the old Mickey cartoons when I was young, but my favorites were always the Donald Duck ones. And Chip and Dale made many appearances in those, so I fondly remember the Christmas tree cartoon where Donald brings them in. And then there was one, something about probably not peanuts, it was probably walnuts. Like they're gathering walnuts and Donald is trying to make was it like walnut butter or something? It was something like that, and they come in and sabotage him. And so, I always had a soft spot for Chip and Dale. So, plus I watched Rescue Rangers growing up. DuckTales and Rescue Rangers, those were my faves. Even watched, it was more my little brother, but I would watch it with him. Goof Troop and those kind of things. I always watch the Disney stuff. And I still do sometimes. The newer stuff. What does everyone think of the new Mickey cartoons? I know it's a very divided. People are very divided on if they like the designs or not. I am of the camp that I can see why they did it, why they went for that style. But I feel super bad for Goofy because he looks terrible. And I really wish they would change him. If they're going to keep doing them, just change him a little. Give him a little makeover. Because Goofy was always one of my favorite characters. That's why it's so sad for me that people hate him so much in this game. They hate Goofy. What did he ever do to you? Yeah, I was much more of a fan of Goofy and Donald than Mickey when I was growing up. Now I appreciate them all for what they are, but I don't know. There was always something about Goofy. I especially liked all those old cartoons before he was like really goofy. He was just this everyday kind of, they called him the goof. I don't remember what they called him, but he was like explaining different things. Like there was one about traffic or something. Like he was sitting in traffic and like how he reacted to bad things happening in his day. It was funny. He changed a lot after that. I know it's not even the same character. I just always thought those were pretty funny. It's really interesting to go back and look at the history of some. Dang it, I gotta go empty again. Empty all my stuff. I might actually go back to the house and empty my chests. The full thing. Let's see. Anyway, it's interesting, especially now that we're celebrating 100 years of Disney, to go back and watch some of those old things. And I'm going to go back up and get that gold. To see where it all started. It's pretty cool. And to see where we're going. Does anybody else, to keep it on the Disney train, I did my little intro about my job today. I think that's all I'm going to do on that, but I'm going to talk a little more Disney. Anybody watch any YouTube channels on Disney World or Disneyland or anything like that? I can't be the only one. Like, I don't get to go that often. So I like to watch other channels to get tips and tricks for when we do actually get to go back. We're hoping to go in the next year or two and take my niece for her first Disney World interaction. But I haven't personally been since before Avatar was even there in Animal Kingdom, and before New Fantasyland was even there in Magic Kingdom. So I have not seen anything at Avatar. I have not ridden Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I have not seen the Little Mermaid area, the new Little Mermaid. I haven't seen any of that stuff, the new castles they built. My sister went to Magic Kingdom a couple years ago, and she got to see it all, and she said it's amazing. And it's beautiful. It's hard to tell from the videos all the time. They try, but it's different when you're there. But she said they built like Eric's castle too. I thought they had only built the Beauty and the Beast castle, like where the restaurant is. Is it Be Our Guest? Is that what it is? Yeah. So I haven't seen any of that. So I like to watch some channels. Anyway, if you watch them, give me some recommendations. I watch pretty frequently the Mammoth Club stuff and the All Ears, some of the All Ears coverage. I watched before Molly left and went to Mammoth Club. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you don't watch Disney World content, because I'm pretty sure you would know who Molly is. And I was really thrilled when they went to their own channel, because whenever they did those videos where they would just talk about stuff, I always liked Alan and Max. If you will know these people if you know what I'm talking about. I always liked Alan and Max a lot, and I was like, I was thrilled when they went and did a channel together. I had no idea that Alan was Molly's husband until Mammoth Club. Well, I found out I think like a month or two before they started Mammoth Club. But anyway, it's pretty cool. So it's a husband and wife team and their best friend, and they go to Disneyland and Disney World, and they teach you a lot of stuff, and it's pretty cool. So if you have never heard of it and you kind of want to be in the loop at what's going on with the Disney parks, they're a good place to start. And that's Mammoth, like the big furry elephant mammoth. Mammoth Club here on YouTube. So they're the main one that I watch, but I also sometimes watch All Ears, like I said, because I started out watching them. And I watch a few vloggers sometimes, but I guess Mammoth Club is they're vloggers too, but they kind of give you more tips. And then I just started watching one actually this morning. It was I wonder if I'm gonna stop moving for a second so I can tell you what the name of it. I've only watched like 10 minutes of it, but it was super helpful. Getting tips for doing Disney without using Genie Plus. So let me go back to my watch later thing. I'm looking on my phone. The name of the channel was Ear Scouts. Like, I guess Mickey Ears. Ear Scouts. And I'm only like 15 minutes in, but I can tell they're shot very well, and I can tell that you will learn a lot from this guy. I don't know if it's just him or if it's multiple people, but it's very interesting. And the other ones that I religiously watch do mainly Universal content, and they are called the Pew2, and you spell their name P-U-G-H. And it's a husband and wife team as well, which is always fun for me to watch and see what they all get to do together in the park. But yeah, they do a bunch of Universal content, but they are branching out into Disney stuff as well, and their videos are always a lot of fun. I enjoy watching them, and I've been watching them for quite a while now. So check those out if you haven't already, and let me know some to watch if you know some more really good ones. Let's see, what was I doing? I was gonna go empty my bags, but maybe I won't. Maybe, let me see. I got a little room. Let's go to the plaza again and try to get a little more topaz, and then I'll go empty everything into storage, and then I might close this one out and see where we landed as far as time goes. But let me know if you like this. I will in the future have a little list of topics I could bring up and talk about, but I thought sticking with Disney adjacent things for this first one would be good, and just talking a little bit about what I do. I'll get a little more into other personal life stuff in the future, but just general life happenings. But yeah, it was kind of fun just to sit here and do this. I also thought it's kind of a good practice for when I start doing live streams, because a lot of you have mentioned me doing live streams, and I would like to do that. I've just got to get in the right frame of mind to be able to do that. I know you probably can't tell. I will go ahead and throw this in here at the end. But one of the big reasons I decided to do this channel is a way to get better at talking, better at getting my thoughts and ideas out. I suffer a bit from social anxiety. A bit is an understatement, but it happens. And my husband and I are hoping to start going to comic conventions again in the next year or two. And for a while, when we first got together, when we first started putting out our own books, we were doing cons quite a bit. And then the pandemic happened. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that word on YouTube. I don't know where we stand right now anymore about what you're supposed to talk about. But that happened, and cons stopped happening, and I sort of got back into my shell where I didn't talk to people very easily, because we were just around family during all of that time. We weren't spending a lot of time with friends and things, so I'm trying to branch out, do a little more talking, and so the live streams I think would help a lot with that. So the live streams would be stuff like this where I'm talking. I'll answer questions that you might have, and we could decorate certain areas. You could help me, and then I could also just do daily stuff and chat like this. So it was kind of practice for that, and kind of a fun new series that I hope you all will like. But yeah, I think I'll go empty the chests now. Actually, I'm going to get all these bones because I want some clay. Oh, and there's a chest over there. I haven't gotten any furniture things today. I have found 2 chests in another one that's not furniture. I found 2 chests in Frosted Heights during the first... I keep using the wrong thing. During the first bit that I recorded that did not get saved. And both of them are coins. So, usually, the day that I record the final Scrooge day, I will go open one of those chests, and it's a piece of furniture that I can go put directly into the empty room, but that didn't happen this week. So that's a little sad. Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to empty the storage. I have... What happened? Did I push? Oh, no, gifting. I don't want to gift you right now, bird. Let me in my house. No. Okay, fine. You can have... What color are you? I haven't fed the birds up here much. Would you be blue or red? What do I have? I have one of the white ones. Let's just give... Is that pink? It looked white in my inventory. What the heck? The colors are really weird right now. I don't get what's going on. Alright, he gave me a cherry. Now go away, please. Thank you. He didn't go away still. If I'd been a little closer, I would have made me talk to him again. Anyway, I think I'm going to need new chests, like more, if I'm saving everything. Like, I've already filled up the flower chest, and I've had to start putting the overflow in this little guy over here. So, that's a little annoying. And I'll show you when I get to it. Like the chest where I had been keeping all my soil and my wood and everything together. And now the wood has taken over since I've started collecting things every day. And I'm not crafting quite as much. Yeah, see, it's like so full. So I think I need a chest just for wood. I think I'm going to get to that point. And for some reason, I'm getting so many of these. I need to go up. I didn't go to Forgotten Lands. That's what I forgot the Forgotten Lands. I need more dark wood. I don't need it. I just, like, in comparison, I'm really low on dark wood and actually softwood because I don't go down there enough. And that's kind of funny. So yeah, I think I'm going to end up needing more large chests eventually. Alright, what else goes in here? Oh yeah, see, I think I had to start putting overflow of wood somewhere else too. I'm gonna have to start putting a sign behind the chest to tell what it is. I don't think anything else goes in there. Let's see. could probably put something else in here. Maybe crystals or something. Let's see. Yeah, I might do that. That would open up some space in here. Put the crystals. We'll see. I just need to do a little rearranging. So I didn't get to picking up any fruit or anything today, but I don't always do that. I really just do that once or twice a week. But I do pick flowers and mine every single day. Alright, let's get all this. Oops. Oh, I have some in storage. That's what happened. I thought I'd had some made earlier. That's annoying. I had to recook them and I had some already. Well, I'll throw them in storage for the moment and get them out after. Alright, flowers. Empty. Yeah, this sorting button is like a lifesaver. You can do this so much more efficiently now. Let's see. No. What's in here? Got so much coal. It's crazy. Yeah, and this is my overflow of herbs. And I guess a shiny gem. Then I ran out of space for shinies. I need to make some medium chests for the shiny gems, I guess. Maybe a large one. I already did flowers. And I can't remember, did I talk about my keyboard in this? If I didn't, let me know in the comments if it annoys you. I either talked about it in the first part that got corrupted or whatever and didn't save, or I already talked about it. But basically, I bought a mechanical keyboard because when I'm writing, it's kind of cool for it to sound like a old-fashioned typewriter. But for these videos, it's probably not that great, and you're gonna hear my clicking all the time. So if it bothers you, let me know, because it is right under the microphone. And I could get a soft touch keyboard to keep that from annoying you guys if it is bad. I'm gonna put the wood over here because I don't remember. These guys I just sell. I don't hang on to any seeds. I'm gonna put this flower in here. Was I out of room in this one for coal? Wasn't it in here? I must have moved the coal. Where did I put the coal? In here? No. Huh. Where did I put it? That's very interesting. I bet I did move it to one of these because I'm not keeping as many pumpkins in here now. Yeah. But it won't fit in there, will it? Let's see. Oh, it did. Good. Yeah, so if the keyboard bothers you, let me know, because I can do something about that. I can get a new keyboard. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, let me know what you thought about this, if you would like to see it become a series. At this moment, it is planned to be a series, and I will do 20 to 30 minutes once a week, just chatting about what happened in my life. Like I said, this was just a little intro and just a general chat. But let me know and subscribe if you like this, and I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully. I will go ahead and say this. I think this is coming out on Tuesday. It is Sunday right now. This will either be Tuesday or Wednesday's video. I'm pre-recording a few things because I'm going to stay with at my mother's house for a couple days, and I wanted to be able to get y'all videos out. But if I'm not back on Wednesday to record the premium shop update, I assume it's going to be Wednesday. Let me see. Is it the same day every week? I think it is. Connect, please. This has been happening a lot, where my internet just will not cooperate. So refreshes in 2 days. This is Sunday. So I don't think I will be here when this refreshes. So my video will probably be a day late on this. But I will still have one this week because I do like doing that every week to see if they get me to buy anything. But I will be late. So don't be expecting it, and it will probably be a different video. Perhaps this one. Perhaps it was this one. So yeah, subscribe if you like this kind of thing, and I will see you tomorrow.